Phil's gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing is to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
U.S. retail sales sizzled in July after a record Amazon Prime Day. Retailers were largely down on the day.
Retail sales down on the day. It amazes me when they talk about retail sales. The problem they have with retail sales, they create an illusion. And they are masters of an illusion. Think about this. They say that the retail sales went up like 0.7%. And everybody was celebrating over that, 0.7%. But wait a minute, it's not true. Because what they don't count is units. See, all they do is they look at the numbers. They just look at the amount of, the dollar amount. That's crazy. They got to be looking at the units. Anybody would tell you that when you're in business, you want to look at the number of units you sold compared to the previous month or the previous year. They don't do that. They just come up and say, oh, look at this. Boy, the consumer, he's strong. Look at this. Retail sales went up 0.7%. What the hell does that mean? The company could be losing money. So what they do is they don't adjust for inflation on purpose. So if you have a business and you did, let's say, you did 4,000, you sold $4,000 worth of goods. And the next month, you sold $6,000 worth of goods. But wait a minute. You got to adjust for inflation, wages, everything going up. So you could be actually selling less goods because, or less. Let's say you sell hats, and you're selling hats, and you sell, let's say, like 2,000 hats. And you're making every month, let's say, $1,000 for the sake of argument. So you're selling 2,000 hats. You're making $1,000. Okay. Now they're saying all they're going to do is look at the gross sales increase. They don't look at the inflation. They don't look at your cost. The most important thing is look at your margins and the units sold. So I can sell a lot more. I have a lot of sales. I can keep adding to my price because inflation keeps going up, so I'm going to keep adding to my price. My ball cap I sell at $5. Now I'm selling at $8. Now I'm selling at $10. And then they record, oh, look at this. Boy, retail sales are good. His sales are up 20%. But what they don't realize, I'm losing money, even though my sales are up 20%. And that's what they do. They don't take in consideration anything that has to do with inflation or units. The most important thing is unit numbers. How many units did I sell? And the other thing is margins. So if I sell like ball caps for $10 and they're costing me $5, now all of a sudden that $5 goes up to, my margins go up to $6, $7. I'm losing money. So that's what they're doing, and they just drive you crazy when they lie all about this. Everything's an illusion. So they're saying consumer spending is robust. Wait a minute. They're making it sound like they're out buying snowmobiles and wave runners and boats. No, it's robust on necessities. Robust on necessity. 38% of our workforce, 48% of our workforce can't meet their household budget. They're not making enough money. They're not making enough money. And also about wages. They also lie about that. They say wages, if you look at wages month to month, yes, they're going up a little bit because month to month, they can tweak them. The BLS can do anything they want with month to month, but they can't do it with year to year. And if you look at year to year, if you look since January 2022 to today, wages have dropped from 9% down to 5%. That's right, 9.3% to 5.3%. That's wages. If you go back to 2022. So no, our wages aren't going up. And they keep saying how the consumer is strong, and they judge that by, again, looking at retail sales and saying retail sales, gross sales have gone up 10%, 7%, whatever. But when you adjust for inflation, retail sales, the amount of units people are selling are far less. So if you went up 10%, increased 10%, but you're probably selling, let's say, you're selling 600 less units a month. But see, they don't tell you any of this. They want you to always believe everything's wonderful. How can the consumer be strong and his wages strong when we have record low savings? We went from 38% to 8%. We're right now at 4%. We have a record number of our retirees had to go back to work. They need money. And as I say, 48% of our workers can't cover their basics. They're behind right now in auto payments, rent payments, even mortgage payments. If they're so strong, why are they? What are they doing with these withdrawals? And why would anybody pay 22% interest? 60% of these consumers who they're so strong, they're so robust, 60% of them are just making minimum payments on their credit card, paying a 22% interest. Who in their right mind would pay a 22% interest if you had the money to pay it off? So they can't say on one end, boy, consumers are strong, wages are strong, boy, robust. But then you look at 60% of our workforce, they can't pay off their credit card. They're doing minimum payments. And to get out of that 22% interest rate, what are they doing? They're pulling money out of their 401ks. There was an article today about that. How they're pulling money left and right, withdrawing money out of their 401ks, withdrawing money out of their pension funds, withdrawing money out of equity of their homes. Well, how could they be doing that? And yet we're being told by the fake business news network and Wall Street how strong the consumer is, even though we have all these withdrawals. They're just not telling us the truth. So you're going to continue to hear, as things get worse, how strong the consumer is. They always do that, how strong the consumer is. What was the thing the guy on CNBC said? It was something like, consumers are strong. They're spending, the consumers are spending more than they're making. They're strong. Can you imagine making a statement like that? Imagine that. I can't think of the guy's name. He said, yeah, Ballhead Leaseman. Oh,
people are feeling flush in their accounts, spending more than our income coming in.
That's amazing. Amazing. Anyways, my gang members, I had them short McDonald's. We started short McDonald's, and it really went down today nicely. Today, the high in McDonald's was at 288 and some change, and now it's at 285 and some change, so short's doing good. You got to learn how to sell short. I don't know how you're going to make money, because if in a 401k, if everything's perfect, and very seldom do we ever get a correction, you can make 5% a year. But that never works, because you're always getting wiped out. Just as you get there, you think you can do it, you get wiped out because you can't short. I always tell my members, do you realize if all you did was make 1% a month with us, just 1%. I don't know how you can't make 1% with our tools and our education and our training and our stock picks. 1% of it, that's a 12% return. And you can sell short. Unbelievable. Be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grandy can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
The Feds have raised interest rates again, and AI is the topic of the day. No matter what the financial headlines are, be a successful investor with Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. Take advantage of the free 10-day trial for the Working Investor Program. Phil Grandy has put together the tools you need to understand the stock market with full access to the Phil's Gang website and access to Phil's Pro 2 color-coded charting software. Know with confidence when to buy, sell, and short a stock. Members also have access to Coffee Talk. Every morning at 8:30 Eastern, Phil Grandy talks about what's happening on Wall Street that day. Want to be a better investor? Then take advantage of the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. You'll find many more features and tools for the working investor. After the trial, it's just $59.95 a month for membership. Invest with the best. Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang. Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Again, if you're with me on McDonald's, you can go ahead and add to your short position. Now, if you're not a gang member, do not do that. Always happens when I say this on the radio to my members, and somebody who's not a gang member starts shorting something or buying something, I can't get a hold of you. I can't tell you what to do. I can't get a hold of you. Then all of a sudden I'll read somewhere, I listened to Phil Grandy, I lost money. Well, you don't tell the rest of the story. You're too cheap to join the gang. You thought you were getting a bargain because I said something on the radio. You thought you just tracked that stock, and you lost money because everybody else made money because we knew when to get up. I can't get a hold of you, so don't do that. Okay, back to what's going on here. So yesterday, again, they reported, I found it right here during the break, retail sales July are up 0.7% month over month for the fourth consecutive rise, saying this was proof the economy is getting better and the consumer and their wages are getting stronger and we're avoiding a recession. What are they, nuts? What is he talking about? That's a bold-faced lie. Because again, by just measuring July sales, retail sales. Who cares about the retail sales? If you're in business, you care about the margins. You want to hear about the margins. Margins, and most importantly, margins are the heart of the business. If you're selling something for $10 and you're buying it for $5, the difference between 5 and 10 is your margin. And if all of a sudden that margin starts down to 5%, then it squeezes down to 2. I mean, then all of a sudden you're losing money. If that margin keeps creeping up on you, if you're selling a hat for $10 and your margin's $5, and all of a sudden now your margin's $6, $7, you lose some money. That's what you want to know. And about 23.4% of sales units in retail are down. They're not reporting that. They never report units sold. So when you have inflation pushing up prices, that gives them a base to create an illusion that everything's getting better. Like they said, July we're up 0.7%. That must mean that's proof positive. People are getting strong. No, first of all, people aren't spending money only on necessities, what they need. The whole thing's a lie. It's an illusion. So next time you hear that, always say, wait a minute, I wonder how many units they sold. Right now, on average, units sold in businesses are down about 19.1%. 19.1%. Retail, we're trying. And here's the other thing. The credit cards. Consumers continue to turn to credit cards. If what they're saying is true, wages are strong, consumers are strong, savings are strong, everything's wonderful, then why is it that over 60% of our working people who have jobs, 60% are paying minimum payments on their credit cards? Who would do that? Who would sit there and pay a 22% payment if your income was good and your wages were good? Wouldn't you pay that off? Of course you would. But 60% of our workforce are stuck with 22% interest rates. And they're trying to tell us consumers are strong and their wages are strong. And you notice with wages, they only talk about weekly or monthly because they can rig the weekly or monthly to look good, but they can't rig the yearly. So always pay attention to year over year. And if you go check this out yourself, from January 2022 to now, wages have dropped from 9.3 to 5.3. And then Biden comes out and he starts talking this kind of nonsense.
The state of our economy is strong.
How can our economy be strong when we have, think about it, when he took over, our economic growth was growing at 6.5%. We were growing at 6.5%. We're growing at what, 2.4%. He can't get out of his own way with that 2.4%. Economy strong at 2.4%. Oh, I see, 6.5%. That was weak. This is crazy. How can an economy be strong when you have record high credit card? 1 trillion. We hit 1 trillion. That's insane. That's insane. We have record low savings. Record number of retirees are going back to work. A record 54%, or 3 out of 5 full-time, now have part-time jobs as well. A record 48% of workers can't cover their benefits. Consumers are falling behind. Rent, autos are the big one, and credit card. Student loans, of course, but even health care. Withdrawals are the largest ever, even bigger than the 2007-2009 recession. Savings, they're pulling money out of savings, out of home equity. This is crazy. This is crazy. So, again, when we hear how everything is doing so well, and you're in the stock market, and you're buying these dips thinking, hey, gee, everything's doing well, I'm going to buy on a dip. You got to be out of your mind. I wouldn't be buying on a dip. Only tourists buy on dips. Only tourists buy on dip. In a downtrend especially. Remember, oil is still going up. Remember, oil from, was it June of 2022, oil dropped 43%. I remember, because when it started to drop, I kept saying to my members, let's wait, keep waiting, hold on. I'll tell you when to pull the trigger. And when it was down about 38%, I said, pull the trigger. We started by Schlumberger. We bought refiners, MRO, one symbol, MPC. We bought all these refiners, and now they're up, oils, they're up about 20%, 22%. Now I'm telling them to take profits. Last week we started to take profits. Because remember, the only reason why oils are up is because, remember, demand's not causing oil to go up. Demand's terrible. We got to rely on, hopefully OPEC keeps on cutting, because demand is getting worse and worse. And China is killing us. That's why we're going to get a crash, because it's China. And I said that back in 2018, it'd be China and the textile. More we get that.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. The feds have raised interest rates again, and AI is the topic of the day. No matter what the financial headlines are, be a successful investor with Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. Take advantage of the free 10-day trial for the Working Investor Program. Phil Grandy has put together the tools you need to understand the stock market, with full access to the Phil's Gang website and access to Phil's Pro 2 color-coded charting software. Know with confidence when to buy, sell, and short a stock. Members also have access to Coffee Talk. Every morning at 8:30 Eastern, Phil Grandy talks about what's happening on Wall Street that day. Want to be a better investor? Then take advantage of the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. You'll find many more features and tools for the working investor. After the trial, it's just $59.95 a month for membership. Invest with the best. Phil's Gang at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
To be a successful investor, you need to stay current with the daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. To be a successful investor, you need to stay current with the daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
The economy's doing all right.
Economy's doing all right. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And unlike the last president, my first 2 years in office, even with all we've done, I'm the first one to cut the federal debt by $1.7 trillion. $1.7 trillion cut.
No, he's talking about the deficit, not debt. He got that confused. And he didn't do that. He didn't cut the deficit. his deficits are at $6 trillion. Ever since he got in office, he's been running debt, an average of $2 trillion. We're already at $1.6 trillion right now for the half of this year. His deficits are horrible. His deficits are killing us. Remember what deficits are. When you keep spending more than you take in, that causes inflation. Inflation's a terrible thing. There's nothing worse than inflation. It's a tax. And you've got to have somebody that's responsible. The only person that's been responsible about inflation was Bill Clinton. He knew how terrible it was, because once you get that inflation, you got to raise. Now you have a deficit. Now you got a deficit, and when you have a deficit, you got to pay the deficit off. It's got to be paid, and you got to print money to do it. That raises inflation again. Then you got to raise rates to beat down that inflation. It's a terrible thing. So no, he's been running deficits all along, and he keeps talking about Bidenomics.
Bidenomics is just another way of saying restoring the American dream. That's what it is.
Restoring the American dream? Are you kidding me? Do you really think the American dream is to have $1 trillion in credit card debt? Consumers falling behind? Having to withdraw from their 401k, from their savings, from their homes to pay off their credit cards? That's I didn't know that was the American dream. Prices up 19%, your wages up 4.4%. That's the American dream? Let me tell you about Bidenomics. First, it destroyed our energy independence. When he reversed Trump's energy policy, he screwed us. All for this green energy, all this green energy garbage. At some point, green energy is a good thing, but we're not prepared for it. That's way off. He should have kept the drilling while we started to beef up the green. But he didn't want to do that, because this is all about socialism. It's all about, remember, what he buries under this green with AOC is he wants pure socialism. That's what's going on, is socialism. That's why he did. Anybody with a brain, a half a brain, would never go full green and get rid of your energy, get rid of your oil, fossil fuels. Who would do that? Only someone who felt that socialism, that you want your country to be a socialist country. That's the only person who would do that, because he's got to kill the middle class, and that's what he's doing. He's killing the middle class, and then he opens the border and let all these people come in the borders. They all depend on welfare. Castro did the same thing. He killed his middle class. Russia, that czar. Remember, they killed the czar, and the first thing they did is they couldn't open a border. Maybe it was there anyways. But the point is that they killed their middle class. Get rid of your middle class, and you can have socialism, then you can go to communism. This is what it's all about. So first, Biden destroyed our energy independence. Second, Bidenomics. Second, he keeps on spending more money than our tax revenue. Inflation source. Simple as that. That's it. And he's doing it on purpose. As a result, under Bidenomics, our economic growth has slowed from 6.5% to 2.4%. Our economy is not growing. Our consumers aren't strong. See, to have a strong consumer and strong wages, you got to have a strong economy at 6.5%. You do not get strong wages. You do not get a strong consumer when your economy is growing at 2.4%. Oil. The economy is slowed under Biden so much, our oil demand dropped from November 2022 to March 2023, which was great for our gang members because we were shorting oil, all the oil stocks. And then it turned around, which we bought our oil stocks back, and now oil stocks are up about 20%. How'd that happen? No demand. Demand didn't increase. OPEC decided they weren't making enough money, so they had to cut. So they kept cutting how much oil they're taking out of the ground. As I told my members the other day, we got in early. We got right at the bottom. And I said, right now, start taking some profits because this isn't going to last long because China is on its back. And when China's on its back, we go right on our back. Remember that. When China's on its back, that happens to us every time. Inflation and deficits are going up. Still going up. Inflation's on its way back up. Unbelievable. As long as he keeps his deficit spending, we keep having inflation. The consequences are terrible. When our households have to go out and keep taking jobs, secondary jobs, living on their credit cards. Now, the only bright spot in all of this is that we're going to have about an 8% pullback in the market, probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So we're going to get a nice 8 to 9% pullback. That's going to be good. So we'll be shorting that, like we're shorting right now. If I go through our personal stocks right here, I'll go through them with you. Right now we're short Microsoft. We're short Microsoft. And again, if you're not a gang member, you hear me say it, don't run out and short Microsoft, because if you're not a gang member, how do I get in touch with you? Say, no, we're changing our position. We're not shorting, we're buying it now. Microsoft, we're doing beautifully with that. We also are shorting Apple. Now, you got to remember at Apple and Microsoft, there's support. They've supported it there's what they call May and June support, right at 176.55. Now, that's Apple. If Apple breaks that 176, use that 176, then you're going to see this whole market drop. If Apple breaks that 176. And it's right there. It's right there. And that's and Microsoft also is being supported on a May-June support. So again, it has to break through 300, through 318. 318, we're at 320. So watch those closely. If they break, they're going to be beautiful shorts. Beautiful shorts. We're short both of them right now. But we got to break through that support. Remember, they're holding these two stocks up with a pool of money. With a pool of money. Now, NVIDIA is a very important one. NVIDIA. Now, they had a big snapback the other day. And now she's starting to come back down again. But if NVIDIA can break 400, or say around 402, you'll see this market drop at least 15, 20% right away. See, people don't understand what's keeping this market up right now. These tech stocks, Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, which is semi, they're being supported. They're being supported with a pool of money by all the institutions. Once that stops, and if you start buying these, think, oh, they're okay now, or they're going to go back up, I'm going to buy at a dip, you're going to get killed. Because they're going to pull their bids out once all their investors are out.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Kramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake Business News Network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Overall, U.S. banking system is much, much healthier than you would expect.
Can you imagine someone coming on one of the fake Business News Network and make a statement like that? When yesterday they're talking about even downgrading J.P. Morgan. Yesterday, but they'll come on and lie like that. It's unbelievable.
There may be another downgrade coming for the banking industry. Fitch is warning it may be forced to cut the credit rating of dozens of banks, including big ones like J.P. Morgan.
And Jamie Dimon said, I'm not worried.
You know, I'm not worried. When I see people...
You're not worried. You got your own Gulfstream jet. You're making $35 million a year just in bonuses. And I ain't counting your pay. You're not worried. Look, we're going to be in for an exciting market. Remember how long we've had this market going up? 12 years this market has gone up. 12 years with hardly a setback. What, 3? Because it was rigged to go up. Now the market's going to give that all back. It has to, unless you can do QE. Remember, the only reason why the market went up for 12 years, because for 12 years we're doing QE. For 12, the reason why you're going to the gas station and gas is so expensive, because for 12 years they've been printing all this money, which is inflationary. Inflationary. That's why your gas is up, your food's up. But they printed all that money to buy treasuries, the 10-year treasury, to get rates down. And that pushed the 3-month treasury, which is the rate which the banks loan money, down to 0 for 12 years. They've been giving companies money between 0 and 1.5%. And the debt that they accumulated over 12 years is humongous. People have no idea what's in store for this market. See, people are numb to the markets. For 12 years, this market's going up so much, so easy. But you got to remember, they kept interest rates too low for too long. And when you inject trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of liquidity, meaning you print all this money, give it to your banks, and then tell the banks, loan it. We got to build our money supply. We got to put oxygen in the economy. That's not how you do it. That's the quick way around. That's how you cheat. And our owners wanted to cheat. All the owners cared about was running those 7 tech stocks up in the whole stock market, over 5,000 stocks. Let's talk about 2,800 brand name stocks that are traded every day, brand names. 7. Just 7 kept this whole stock market up for 12 years. You don't think something's wrong? You don't think a crash is going to happen? And all they're doing now is propping it up again. But you got a problem. I've never seen the complacency. Someone looking at the 3-month treasury over 5%. 3-month treasury, 5.4%. Somebody's looking at the 10-year treasury, 4.1%. And they don't think anything of it. Like, oh, it's okay. It's going to be all right. Remember, that 3-month treasury for 12 years averaged about 1/10 of 1%. We're at 545 points. It wasn't even 1 point for nearly 12 years. Now we're at 545. Do you understand what that means? That means that banks can't loan. Because what they need to loan to small businesses, they can't borrow those kind of rates. They can't borrow those kind of rates. And when you got somebody like Biden in there, keeps spending, there's only one place this market's going to go, down. And they can't save the market with another QE. You can't. You can't do it because it won't go to QE again. No. Because you understand the prices. I mean, and I'm not just saying it. You go to get a loaf of bread, it's going to be $15, $20. You can't. They know they can't go back to QE. So there's only one thing that's going to happen, and the biggest crash is going to happen in the housing market. That's right, the housing market. But everybody's looking at the housing. They're still buying housing stocks. Tourists are in there buying housing stocks. Are they nuts? They have no idea what's going to hit the housing market. They have no idea. How is it that the housing market's not going to go down when 10-year treasuries are at 4.18%? Say 4.1%. That means mortgages are going to be 7-8%, and these rates are going to go up even more. In about another 3 months, rates are going to be at about 9% for 30-year fixed rate mortgage. There's not going to be any business. The big banks are going to be okay because they do business globally. They do all kinds of stuff. But the regional banks that keep our economy going, they're dead. They're toast. And once that $2 trillion is gone, once that $2 trillion the Aunt B printed, remember she printed $2 trillion to hold up these regional banks. $2 trillion she printed. Is that phony or what? Just to make sure everybody thinks everything's going to be okay. And they have no idea what that $2 trillion is about. They don't have a clue. They have no idea what that's about. It's all fake. They're just holding up the banks as long as they can until they can't hold them up anymore. So the opportunity to sell short is fantastic. So Again, please, I beg you every day, join the gang. At least 10 days, it's free. And learn how to sell short. And I know a lot of you are sitting there saying, well, why would I take money out of my, I can go and put money in a 3-month treasury, get 5%. I understand that. But it's not going to always be there. What good is 5% when your real rate of inflation, if you look at real inflation, you're about 10 to 12%. You know that. Nobody believes inflation is at 3.2%. You'd have to be an idiot. So that 3-month treasury, these treasuries are all going to go much higher. It's going to destroy the housing business. And right now, when you look at XHB, starting to break down. We shorted a little bit of it, XHB. Also, another one is starting to break down, but you got to be patient. DHI is starting to break down. We got lower highs there too. Lennar, that's one of our favorites, just broke the 50-day moving average. And Lennar, once it breaks its support about $119 and starts falling, then all the home builders are going to fall. So we're short Lennar right now. Lennar, we're short. That's what's been holding this whole market up. These tech stocks, these builders. But remember, I told you about the builders. They're going to be the last ones to go down, and they're going to be severe. So you want to know how to short those. So at least if you join our gang, learn how to sell short tech stocks. And also, remember this again. They promote that 401ks get a return of 5% a year. 5% a year. Are you kidding me? A year. Once you learn how to short, what a difference it makes. Even if you got 1% a month, 1% a month, that's 12% a year, just 1%. And how are you going to get that? Knowing how to short. 401ks are the worst thing in the world. Because at times, yes, you're making your 5%, but you always get wiped out. You always get wiped out because they don't allow you to short. And we still have, people think that everything's fine. How can they think? We still have rising rates, deficits, unbelievable our deficits, inflation's climbing, yield curves wider than ever been. Our national debt keeps increasing. Our economic growth is slowing. All of those are why the stock market in November 2022 dropped 38%. They're still with us, but nobody wants to hear about it. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Please remember St. Jude.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.